Hey guys, Kevin here. This week I have been talking a lot about retro gaming. This is a passion of mine and I've spoke about clone consoles, game emulation, RetroPie, all these different things. I'd like to continue this theme and show you 3 gaming projects that are on Kickstarter. They're all related to retro gaming. The first one here, Goofy Foot, is a controller mod kit for the original NES controller. As the name suggests, this is for left-handed people. I'm right-handed, so I've never really had to deal with the problems associated with, I've always had the buttons on the right-hand side, the D-pad of the joystick on the left-hand side. But I can imagine if you're left-handed, that must be quite difficult to get used to that. So this mod kit will allow you to change the NES controller and make it friendly towards left-handed players. Now, you don't actually get the controller itself. You need to provide that. What you do get is a kit. Now, there's a few different kits. They've got a basic kit, full kit and assembled kit. And the prices start, $14 for the basic kit, $22 for the full kit, $29 for the assembled kit, and there's a limited edition there. So not a huge amount of difference. You're jumping from $14 to $22 to $29. The main difference seems to be here is that when you get the assembled kit, as the name suggests, it is assembled. You don't need to do any soldering. You don't need any technical experience. I suspect if I was going for it, which I'm not because I'm right-handed, but if I was going for it, I'd be going for the assembled kit just to save me any hassle. I don't have to start soldering things and breaking things. I think this is a really good idea though. And it seems to have reached its modest goal already. But good luck to the guys, because I think this is something that there probably needs to be more things like this in the market. 10% of people are left-handed, and I can't think of any system that's, if you go back to the Atari Lynx that had the handheld, it switched around for left-handed players, but I can't think of anything else like that. So yeah, I hope that it goes well. That's quite a good idea. It'll be shipping in October. So this one, the next gen N64 Nintendo 64 controller. This actually looks pretty cool. It's from a company called Retro Fighters, and this is an original Nintendo 64 controller. Not original, wrong word there. It plays with the Nintendo, it works with the original Nintendo 64. It's not USB, it's not Bluetooth. It actually plugs into your original Nintendo 64. And it looks quite like an Xbox or like the Wii U Pro controller, that type of thing. Pretty cool. Got a prototype there before they've added the colours. I like that they've kept the original scheme. And instead they've put you've got the controller there in the left hand side instead of the middle. It's got a couple of extra things on it. There's a turbo button there. I'm not sure if it's something. What was the other button there? Oh, there's a clear button as well. So the controller, $20. I think that's really, really cheap. Very, very cheap. You'd probably pay more for an original controller, or even a third-party N64 controller. You probably pay more. So $20 will get you one of those controllers. I think that's very, very good. Seems a lot to go for the upgraded things, for a t-shirt, etc. But $20 is an absolute bargain. Now, they do note that they will hopefully, if this is successful, they will hopefully release a second version, which is USB. And if this came out and it was USB, this is something I'd probably buy, because $20 isn't a lot of money. Looks like a very good controller. And look at that, it's compatible with the original memory cards and Rumble Pack. Ideally, I'd want one that was USB, but was also Bluetooth. So I could, if I'm close to the computer, I could use USB. But if I'm sitting on the couch, I can use it using Bluetooth. But they were hoping for 13,000, and they've reached it already. So over 1,000 people have opted for that already. I think that's pretty cool. I like the idea of that, and it looks like a good controller. You can see the buttons at the back there. They look really good. So hopefully it lives up to its reputation. I don't want to talk about reputation. It doesn't have a reputation yet. It's a new controller. Live up to the hype. The hype, that's the word I'm looking for. Okay, lastly but not leastly, Dreamcade Replay. So I'm in two minds of whether this is amazing or too expensive. I'm kind of confused. I'll talk about it just now, and you guys can decide. So it's reaching for a $30,000 goal, and it's got 110,000. So without a doubt, this has been successful. And what it is, it looks like an Atari 2600, essentially. Retails are $99, 129, and then 159. And those ones get you extra controllers. So you can see they went for the Atari 2600 retro colors here. See this video here? It's kind of bizarre, and they talk about it, and the guys, they do a presentation. They don't turn round at any time. These guys are sitting there on the couch telling you about their fantastic controllers, telling you about what they do, and at no point can you see these guys' faces. To me, that's strange. Like, they're not facing the camera. Granted, not everyone wants to be in front of the camera, but it's just strange. Like, the whole video, you've just got this, they're talking like, yeah, it's amazing, and they're not showing you. That's bizarre to me. So where's the, yeah, so here's here. It's $99 for the console, $129 for a controller, and then, $159 if you want the second controller. Does say, as you can see there, you can play with your own controller. The black controller here on the left looks like a hybrid Xbox One, PS4 type of controller. In fact, it just looks like an Xbox One controller when you look at it. The one on the right is the NES 30 Pro, which a lot of people say is amazing. Some people say it's a little bit too small in the hand, but it does have a pretty good reputation. So, yeah, the two controllers seem to be an Xbox One clone, an Xbox One controller clone, and the NES 30, which is a good controller. So supports dozens of systems, and yeah, so you can see the interface there with all the different systems, and it's got things like you can scan your old cartridges and it will find the game for you. Not just console games. Okay, now this is the thing. Now, the first thing when you see this is that it's quite a cool little system. It looks like an Atari. They've got USB there in the top. I just assumed this was a Raspberry Pi system, but it's actually Windows, which really surprised me. So it's running 2.2 gigahertz Intel processor, 4 gigabytes of RAM, Bluetooth, expansion slots, networking. So they're comparing it to the Pi 3 and the Pi Zero that came out earlier this year. That's really small, that one. I'd probably compare it to the Pi 3 from a size point of view. It's maybe a little bit bigger. It looks good, but I guess the price is kind of is the part I'm not unsure of. The part I'm not sure of. Sorry. Now, if you look down at the different ones here, they've got. Let me see, where is it? There's a part that tells you about the games. There's a part that right, okay. So they talk about Dreamcade Replay, 75 classic games, and they've thrown in a lot of like Atari games and things like that. So you're going to have to populate this system with your own games, essentially, to get it the way you want it to get. It's not coming packaged with thousands of games. It's coming packaged with what will probably be, games where their copyright has expired by the looks of it, and you need to populate it yourself. But it looks like some sort of Retro Pi type of emulation station clone, that software, which is a good thing. But what kind of put me off was the price. Now, if you're in America, it's maybe a little bit cheaper for you guys. It's $99, right? So $99, probably about, I don't know what the exchange rate is just now, 70, 80 pounds in the UK. But when I clicked on it, you can see here, for the United Kingdom, it's $77. In fact, all right, $17 in the USA. So if you're in the USA, $116. That isn't too bad a price for what you get. I don't think that's a terrible price. But in the UK, $177, it's a lot of money. I can get a Raspberry Pi for like £50 and then set it all up myself. So essentially, I'd be paying an extra £100, like an extra $100 or so for a nice little case. But that's not worth that, So if you're in the USA, you're saving yourself $60 there, a little bit cheaper, and maybe it's more of a, it's an easy buy. But if you'd like to, if you're looking at retro gaming, I don't think this is going to do anything that you couldn't do yourself with the Raspberry Pi. What it's going to do is hopefully save you the hassle of doing that. But you're still going to have to load all the games yourself and things like that. So if you're going to have to load all the ROMs yourself, then there is the argument that you're as well just doing it all yourself anyway. Do you know what I mean? Still, I think it's a cool looking system, and I hope the guys are successful with it. I think I like the kind of Atari style. Looks like they've thrown in some decent controllers, supports lots of systems. They're trying something different. So I hope it does well. It is really small. You can see it in the guy's hand there. So let me know what you guys think about this, the Dreamcade Replay, and the next gen N64 controller, and the Goofy Foot. Yeah, I like the idea of the Dreamcade. It's maybe, you know, for us in the UK, in fact, for most people around the world, with the $77 delivery fee to pretty much, it looks like every country except the USA, I think it just prices itself out a little bit too much. And I'd be leaning towards a Raspberry Pi solution, or perhaps even a clone console, who knows. But it just seems that, you know, paying an extra $60 kind of puts this into the too expensive bracket. Oh, I'm talking like an idiot today. Right, thanks for watching, guys. Really do appreciate it. Let me know what you think about these projects. Whether these things are good, or whether you you know, whether you're going to be buying them or not. I always think it's good to support the guys that are developing stuff like this. It's keeping retro gaming alive. It's keeping, you know, gaming from the 80s and 90s and even early 2000s alive. And whether it's a success or not, I think, you know, you should try and support these guys, even if you're not buying from them. Send them some positive vibes and karma and all that. Thanks for watching, guys. Please do leave a comment below and let me know what you think about these. And until next time, take care.